Hey everybody, it's Tech Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about how to geocode modems in TruVision. I'll be right back. Hey, welcome to Tech Tuesday. I'm Rick Uzzi here at Zecorum, and again, today what I'm going to be talking about is how to geocode modems in our TruVision application, which is a diagnostics application, web-based hosted application that we have for DOCSIS networks, GPON networks, and even DSL if you've got that. So today I'm going to be showing you how to geocode modems, and that can happen. You can have a need to do that for a couple different reasons. Geocoding simply means that we automatically will geocode the modem or place a pin on the map based on the address that you type in. And you can get that information into the application a couple different ways. If we're integrated with your billing application, just type it in your billing application, it automatically gets added to TruVision. We take that address and we geocode that, and then we stick a map pin based on where we think that customer's modem is. You can also enter that into our affiliate management application, which is integrated with TruVision as well. Or you can upload files that's got that same information, customer information, address, that kind of thing. But we do automatically geocode, but every now and then that process doesn't work for one reason or another. Sometimes it's that just the address is in a bad format. You may type it in wrong, something where it's not recognized, and therefore we can't geocode the address. Sometimes in rural areas of the United States, for example, you may have a rural route address where it's just not something that can be geocoded. Or sometimes in a situation like that or other places, there may be a street with just a row of mailboxes at the end of the street, and all your modems would show up in the same place if you had several customers on that. So you could get more granular and geocode those modems based on where the actual home is, which can be helpful as well. So that can all be done within TruVision in the desktop application as well as in the mobile app. I'll start with the desktop application. We'll pull up what that looks like here, and I'll go ahead and go in and we'll go ahead and geocode something. I looked up just a device the other day. I think, what was it? Oh, now I'm trying to remember the name of what it was. Oh, yeah, I remember. Okay. What the person's name was. I think it was that. I should remember that. There it is. So this particular device is geocoded. You can see on the map here that there is a location for it. But let's pretend that for some reason this is in the wrong spot. And sometimes that happens occasionally where, again, I'm thinking of a situation maybe where you've got a bunch of mailboxes at the end of a road or something like that, or it's just geolocated in the wrong place. So first thing you want to do is just click right here to expand the map, and that will expand now, and then plot all of those nearby modems. That'll take just a second to show up here. And you can see while we're looking at it, you've got some things on the map that you can do. I'm going to go ahead and expand this out some. There we go. I can scroll out or scroll in on this map. I've got some filters at the top. I can filter by a couple of different things. And you can see this particular customer that we pulled up here, just their modem readings. But the one right here, we've got a red modem. And by the way, this database is our trial instance of this. So these are actual modems on a cable plant somewhere, but we've put them in places where they don't really exist. So these are not really located at these addresses. And also the fact that they're all red and yellow tells me something as well, that I don't think this particular cable plant has all yellow and red modems. Basically, or ordinarily you would see a lot of green modems mixed in here. So it's not like this cable plant is in really bad shape. But we do see that this one would be showing up as red here, just as an example. And to geocode this, or to change this particular location, what you can do is, when I click on it, first off, you see this. There's a couple of things you can do here. First, if I click this would show me where I am. Now, here I am sitting in my office on a laptop, so if I were the guy in the office, I would probably not click that, because that's going to bring me to, and I don't want to do that, because it's just going to take me away from this area. But it would take me to wherever I am right now located, or where the internet thinks I'm located. So that would be my office. So that would make a lot of sense. So what I can do is I can go ahead and tap this modem right here. Actually, I don't really need to tap it. I've already queried this modem. So this is my customer. I just go up here to update, and you see it put a little red square around that. It took all the other modems away, but if I know that this particular customer actually, let's say, is on this corner right here, I can just take it. Actually, I don't even need to drag it. I just go ahead and click it right here, and it's going to say, do I want to update that? And I'm going to say, yes, I want to update that. And there I go, and it will reload here. Should reload all of the modems. And you see now my customer with the little house in the middle has now moved to this location. So I've now moved that customer from where they were before. So that's how you do it in your office, on a laptop, that kind of thing. But it might be a better application for you to be able to do this if you were out in the field. So, for example, let me pull up what it looks like on a mobile device. So if you're out in the field, and another time when this may be helpful, I talked about the fact that right there we just moved a device, but sometimes there's no map pin at all, and that may be for a couple of reasons. Again, it may be that you have put the address in wrong. So the first thing that you want to do is double check the address and make sure that it's in there right, because if you manually geocode something to a bad address, but you say, well, it's not geocoding, but I'll go ahead and place the pin where it belongs. That's fine, but the next time you make a change to that customer, let's say a zip code changes, or when I say that customer, their address, you change anything in that address, it's going to then try to auto-geocode that again, and it's going to wipe out what you put in before. Unless you corrected the address, then it should geocode to the right location. So just be careful of that. Always check the address first, make sure that the address is in the correct format, and just doing that might actually then geocode the modem properly. And I am not sure, I should have found this out beforehand, but it may take a day. I don't know how often we update that. So if you do it right away, I don't know if it geocodes right then. It might geocode right then and make that change if you change the address and not run on a cron job or something. I'm not totally certain about that, but I can certainly find out. So again, if you're going to do this on a mobile device, it would be where you'd be actually at the customer's location. And this would be handy if, again, you've got a tech out there and this is not geocoded at all. And this we've found shows up in some international locations, for example, in the Caribbean, where devices just don't geocode well with the addresses. Sometimes the address is something like it's the fourth house down on the right with the columns past the cactus or something like that. So they don't always put, sometimes that's how people find things down there. And it may not be geocoded or geocodable. So if that's the case, then as your techs are out in the field with their mobile device, they can just geocode it based on the GPS in their mobile device. And here's how that works. So I pulled up this same customer right here, and you're going to pull up the mobile, and these are all just screenshots at this point. So you're going to scroll down to the very bottom where you've got the customer's information in their map, and again, you're going to tap now on that same little icon in the upper right corner of the map. When you do that, it's going to pull up the map, and now we're going to use that little location button that we've got on the side of the map there. So you're going to tap that. When you do that, it's again going to take you to where you're standing with your device. And in this case, when I did this in the office, it took me to the office. So I'm actually looking at my office location right now, although you see there's no other modems around. That would be why, is because I'm in the office. And these fake addresses are a little bit further off to the northeast. But let's say this is where I'm standing at the customer's location. This is where I want this modem to be located now. So what you're going to do then is just scroll down a little bit, and you'll see that same box that we saw on the desktop application, or desktop version of this. The same application is just running on mobile versus running on the laptop. You've got that little update button. You're going to tap that just like we did before. And when you do that, you're going to see that same thing. You're going to see a little that thin red line appear around the map. And you notice that the update button went away down there in the bottom. Now you've got a cancel button. And to go ahead and geolocate now, just based on your mobile app, you're just going to tap that icon, that map pin, where it's showing you're located. When you do that, it's going to do the same thing it did before, which is going to say, are you sure you want to do that? So then you just would hit update, and you've now placed that map pin right there where you're located. So again, that's a very handy little feature if you are in an area where for some reason that device can't be geolocated. You can also do this, like I said, if you've got that rural customer where there's 10 mailboxes, you can just go ahead and walk down to that customer's home, and then you can do the same thing. You can just go ahead and tap the location icon, and then you'll be placing that modem right at that customer's home as opposed to the end of the street where all the mailboxes are, and that will help you visualize better, what's going on with each house rather than have them all kind of stacked up together there at the same spot. So that's how you geocode in TruVision. It's very easy, very helpful. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has been, I hope that you will go ahead and like this video for me. I'd appreciate that. If you want to subscribe, just click the little subscribe button down below and you ring the little bell below the video, and that will notify you that we're live or we've posted a new video whenever we do that. So thanks a lot. I will see you next week for Tech Tuesday. And the plan next week is I'm planning on having Tim Smith here, and we're going to talk about our lab. We've got a lab with various types of equipment that we keep in place to make sure that we can develop this application as well as work with our customers, our affiliated internet service providers, where we provide engineering services, those kinds of things. We have the equipment in the lab. So we'll talk about the lab, give you a tour of the lab as well as we do that. So I'll see you then. It'll be next week for Tech Tuesday. Bye-bye.